Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Well, I decided to carry on with my festive reviews by diving into my childhood. Now, I think everyone has that one movie they can pretty much recite word for word. For me, that's Elf. 20 years ago, I saw this movie at the cinema with my dad, and I can still remember everything that's happened. Most Christmases throughout my childhood and into my teens, I watched and rewatched this festive favourite. Hell, one Christmas, me and my friend flat out watched it 5 times back to back. Looking back, I don't know why we did this, but it was a lot of fun.
You stink.
I think you're gonna have a good Christmas, alright?
You smell like beef and cheese. You don't smell like Santa.
So, the genius that is Jon Favreau, known for the MCU Spider-Man movies and the Chef movie, directed this absolute gem of a movie. He teamed up with lead writer David Barenboim to bring us Elf. With the idea and script ready to go, the movie lay in limbo for a while before getting greenlit in the early noughties. An interesting article I came across stated that the original actor who wanted to play the role was Jim Carrey, a physical comedy actor known at the time for Ace Ventura and The Mask, but most notably in my eyes for playing the Riddler in Batman Forever. The article I found stated these few points. Elf could have been a very different movie if Jim Carrey had been cast as Buddy the Elf instead of Will Ferrell, as Carrey's comedic style is more over the top and bombastic. The original script for Elf was written with Jim Carrey in mind for the lead role, but it sat in production limbo for a decade before eventually being picked up by Ferrell. While Carrey may have excelled in the physical comedy and darker undertones of the original script, Ferrell's portrayal of Buddy brought a deeper range of emotions and heartfelt touch to the character. Will Ferrell was the perfect choice for the role. Ultimately, I think Ferrell was the correct choice for this film. As the article said, I don't think the movie could have hit the emotional levels needed with Carrey. Yes, aspects of the comedy probably would have been pushed to greater heights than it did before. I still think it would have lost something. I don't think it would have been the same movie as a result. With Ferrell in the lead ready to bring Buddy to life, there was still 2 lead characters missing from the fray to make this work. Walter Hobbs, Buddy's father and an occupant of Santa's naughty list, who was excellently brought to life by the late James Caan. I don't know what it is specifically, but his on-screen chemistry with Will Ferrell is incredible. The pair bounce off each other so well in every scene they share. And Zooey Deschanel, an incredible actress and musician who appeared in this near the beginning of her career. She would go on to play the quirky Jessica Day, the lead role in the hilarious sitcom New Girl, and also had a strong musical career by forming the band She and Him. This incredible cast worked together to deliver one of the best Christmas films of all time.
And I was adopted, but you didn't know I was born. So I'm here now. I found you, Daddy. And guess what? I love you, I love you, I love you!
The plot itself is fairly basic. It's a coming-of-age story. Buddy the Elf is questioning his self-being and goes on an existential journey to find his origin. The conflict is more a character journey than overly plot-oriented. Buddy really doesn't feel like he belongs anywhere. He is an outsider amongst elf kind, unable to connect with them properly, unable to create toys at a rapid rate, just generally doesn't fit into their culture. And I mean that both literally and metaphorically, as Ferrell is over 6 foot, which seems perfect to really sell the point, especially using this visual medium. I think outside of Buddy, the plot is meant to illustrate the issues with Christmas in various areas. If you look at it from an adult perspective, then I think both Walter and Jovi's workplace show this. First of all, with Walter, he has completely lost touch with reality and as a result no longer spends extended time with his family. Inside and outside of the office, the one guiding force of his life is the workplace. All he does is throw himself into his work, which from a character point of view is kind of ironic. He works for a children's publishing company but lacks any kind of emotional substance or imagination. To the detriment of children, his focus, like any figurehead, is on sales and doesn't care that a book is missing pages. To him, this strictly family-oriented holiday takes a backseat to meeting a sales quota. Which I do understand, Christmas is an expensive and busy time of year, but he's so numb to the world around him that he is unable to see that he's neglected his son Michael. Whereas Jovi as a character is just a person trying to get through the holidays, she's struggling with money, is relying on facilities at work and just wants to finish the festivities as quickly as possible. Much like Walter, she seems detached from the reality around her, But to her, work is a hindrance. She's surrounded by festive toy offers, ornaments, and an area designated Santa's workshop. I feel for her on this one. Working in a retail environment is never fun, but during Christmas, it's actually the worst. Hell, she's even dressed as an elf for the majority of the movie. Which makes it all the more interesting for her to grow attached to someone like Buddy, who is a walking embodiment of a holiday she dislikes. Yes, their relationship is meant to open her up to the holidays and is done in a nice way. But I find Buddy's initial attraction all the more interesting. Up until this point, Buddy has been up in the North Pole, surrounded by elves. The human world must be so jarring to someone like him, so coming across someone like Jovi dressed as an elf must have given him comfort and a sense of normality. It's why it's so interesting to me that this was the basis for a romantic relationship. Back to the overall plot. As I said, I don't believe it offers too much in terms of complex storytelling. I do think the biggest relationship dynamic is explored between Buddy and his father. The second the two interact, it's very clear that the one thing Buddy needs is acceptance from his father. That will be the one concrete thing that solidifies his place in humanity. The movie's conflict is the rocky journey it takes for the pair of them to better understand each other. I think the introduction of Michael and Emily helped with this dynamic as well. I think having these two accept Buddy into the family quite early on helps move the plot beats along, even if Buddy had to knock out a load of kids in a snowball fight to earn Michael's trust. I think in a weird way, Buddy and Walter needed each other. As Santa said, some people lose sight of what's important in life. Walter's life has become so clinical and work-based, to the extent where he skips family meals to work. For a character as career-focused and out of touch with his loved ones, it must have been so intense to have someone like Buddy crash land into his life out of the blue. An unknowing man-child declaring his love would have been a lot for anyone, let alone someone as closed off as Walter is. Equally, I think Walter does try to guide Buddy through mundane adult life. Yes, at times he is way too harsh to him, but I think fundamentally he is trying to show Buddy the human world. However ambivalent at the beginning, he is the guiding force in Buddy's new surroundings. Yes, the movie does require compromise on both ends. It does take a heated telling off from Walter and Santa's crash sleigh for the two worlds to collide, and for the mutual love and understanding to be reached between these two. Given how their interpersonal bond is the selling point of the film, it had to be the main point of resolution. Walter and Jovi's restored faith in the festive season carries Santa's sleigh, due to them finally appreciating Buddy and accepting the values of Christmas. Which makes the plot's epilogue all the more interesting. It ends with Walter starting an independent children's book company and launching a story called Elf. So I think given the narration and exposition from Papa Elf at the start and at the end, there is an argument that this all took place within the confounds of the book, but I don't like that. I personally think it takes away from the movie if that is the truth. I like how well this film juxtaposes the human world with all the lore surrounding Christmas. I think the novel idea makes it too fictional, but I do agree it's a fun tie to the movie.
Hi. Do you remember me?
I do. I didn't recognize
I
you.
know, I'm in work clothes.
Tonally, this movie is interesting. As I said earlier on in this video, I think casting Farrell in the lead was perfection, as he is so diverse as an actor. Farrell is able to contribute the strong emotional points of the movie, especially in heated scenes with his father, or his existentialism and struggling to come to terms with himself at Santa's workshop. The film also balances warmer and humorous elements exceptionally, and the two styles of tone mesh together very well. Every scene with the Gimmables manager is absolute gold. It's not just the script itself, but how bombastically Will recites his lines and how well he reacts to everything in the scene.
This is the North Pole.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Where's the snow?
Why are you smiling like that?
I just like to smile. Smiling's my favorite. I'm in a store and I'm singing.
Hey! There's no singing in the North Pole.
Yes, there is.
No, it's not.
We sing all the time.
No, it's not.
Especially when we make toys.
It's not just the script itself, but how bombastically Will recites his lines and how well he reacts to everything in the scene. It sells the humour and leaves me in hysterics every year, which is a testament to Farrell as an actor. A lot of style and substance would be lost here if Carey was cast in the role. As good as these interactions are, I believe that Dance in the Mailroom is the best joke and funniest 20 seconds of the whole film. It's how cleverly the writing builds up to this. So, to begin with, Buddy drinks alcohol thinking it's syrup. Secondly, he and his work colleague lay him back, drunk, reminiscing about life. Then, cutting to a more serious scene. The humour here isn't just Buddy distracting an entire workforce and dancing on a table. It's everything it doesn't show you. And the sheer randomness cuts through the tense scene between Walter and Miles over the phone. This whole scene will never not be funny to me. So, 20 years on, does it still hold up? Is it a good movie? Well, in short, yes. I think it's a very good movie. The film features 3 characters, all lost in various ways during the festive season. The driving force of the story is each of them learning what's important in life, and forming meaningful relationships in time for Christmas. I think this movie is loved for one reason alone. It's uplifting, which perfectly relates to the season of goodwill. This ideology is at the core of the film and is carried through its entirety. And given how difficult and unpredictable life can be, it's nice to have some easy watching and uplifting entertainment this time of year. Well, that's what I think anyway. I would love to hear what you all think in comments down below. If you liked what you saw, can you please hit that like button and subscribe? It will help the channel grow even more. Please stay close as I try to post new content as often as possible.